Note: please be advised that this story may contain graphic and disturbing content. Reader discretion is advised. It was the summer of 1984 when a group of friends decided to go on a camping trip in the woods near their small town. They had heard stories of strange happenings in the area, but they brushed it off as just rumors. As the sun began to set, the group set up their tents and started a fire. They laughed and joked around, enjoying the peacefulness of nature. But as the night wore on, they began to feel like they were being watched. They heard strange noises in the distance, like twigs snapping and leaves rustling. They tried to brush it off, thinking it was just animals, but the noises continued to get louder and more frequent. As they sat around the campfire, they noticed that the flames were flickering wildly, even though there was no wind. Suddenly, they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from the woods. They looked at each other in terror, unsure of what to do. One of the group members, a brave young man named John, suggested that they investigate the source of the scream. The others were hesitant, but eventually agreed to follow him. As they walked deeper into the woods, the noises became more intense. The trees seemed to close in around them, making it hard to see anything in the darkness. Suddenly, they saw a figure in the distance, standing still and watching them. They tried to call out to the figure, but there was no response. They cautiously approached the figure, only to discover that it was a man covered in blood, with a look of pure terror on his face. The man was barely coherent, but he managed to tell them a story of a group of people who had come to the woods years ago to conduct a satanic ritual. The ritual had gone horribly wrong, and they had summoned a demonic entity that had possessed them all. The possessed group had gone on a killing spree, murdering everyone they came into contact with. The man had been the sole survivor, and he had been running through the woods ever since, trying to escape the demonic entity's grasp. As soon as the man finished his story, the group heard footsteps behind them. They turned around to see a group of people approaching them, with eyes that glowed in the darkness. The group realized that they were face to face with the possessed group from the past. They were trapped, with no escape. The possessed group started to attack them, one by one, tearing them apart. John managed to escape and ran back to town to alert the authorities. When they arrived in the woods, they found nothing but the torn remains of the group's camping gear. To this day, no one knows what happened to the group that went camping in those woods. Some say that they were possessed by the same demonic entity, and they still haunt the woods to this day. The story serves as a warning to those who dare to enter the woods alone at night. You never know what kind of horrors may be lurking in the darkness, waiting to claim their next victim.